Hi there, welcome back to my channel. It's Krista here to do the weekly reading for the sign of Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Aquarius, if you don't know your Moon and Rising signs, you can check out a link in the description box to alwaysastrology.com. And there you can plug in your information and you can learn your entire birth chart. And that way, for any reason this doesn't appeal to you or resonate with you this week, check out your Moon and Rising sign readings for the week and see if those help. That being said, I really hope that this appeals to you and you find it helpful and healing in some way. So Aquarius, this is for the week of May 23rd to May 29th. I'll be using the Wisdom of the Oracle deck for the main spread. I'll be doing a 5-card spread like I did last week. I found it appealed to a lot of people and I enjoy doing it as well. Also, at the end of this spread, we'll draw additional cards from the Medicine Card Tarot and the Healing with the Angels Tarot for additional guidance. So Aquarius, this is a general reading, whatever is most prominent in your life this week, whether that's health, travel, finance, relationships, etc. I encourage you to apply the messages found here to that situation. So Aquarius, I wish for you all success, joy, and wellness. I invoke spirits of love, light, and beauty. I call upon Archangels Michael, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Metatron, and Archangel Uriel to guide this reading in peace, clarity, protection, and wisdom. I ask that Mother Gaia please bless this reading for Aquarius. All right, so Aquarius, in your central position so far, we have go the distance. So something that you have already begun or are in process of is something that you need to continue doing because you've got your mind made up about it, and it looks like you've done a great deal of soul searching, and it might have even turned from one avenue to another, perhaps even sharply. And you're going to go this way, so to speak. I think you were going another way, you were going a different direction here, and decided for varying reasons. We'll look at these cards up close in just a second with the camera so you can see some of the imagery as well. But it looks like a decision was made here that veered you off a specific path you were on to take you to a different path that you are more than happy and willing and able to do. And it appears as though this is the path that will achieve the greatest heights, will bring you, the medal, so to speak. It's where you're going to win. It's where you're going to ace. And it looks like you went through a little bit of soul searching to decide to even get to this place. But you're fully confident in it, and you're also fully committed to it. So that's wonderful to see for you. And in your recent past, or what energy you're just leaving behind for the week, Aquarius, we have fork in the road. Like I said, this is a decision that you had made in the past that you felt pretty confident about, or if you didn't make it yourself and it was made for you, it was something you felt stuck in that you have to sort of veer away from. But that decision has been made. It's something, like I said, you're just coming out of. And the current situation for the week is that you are going full bore. This is the way for you. This is the most positive use of your energy, and this will get you to where you want. I actually want this down here. And in the conscious or outside influence, we have exchanging gifts. This is about you being in the present, somewhat literally, in relationships with other individuals, concepts, ideas, or organizations that have to do with women, femininity, receptivity, healing, anything to do with togetherness, and anything to do with the arts and pleasure. So this is on your outside influence. This is coming into your life. And then Treasure Island is your internal, oh, you can't see them, your internal or subconscious influence. And here, and I'm not thoroughly surprised at all to find the Treasure Island card, which is something that you personally bring to the table. Whether you're conscious of this or not, you're bringing the Treasure Island attitude and behavior and perception to this situation here, and it's total fulfillment. Okay, there is a great deal of balance, there's prosperity, there's ancient wisdom, there's knowing that the gold lies within, okay, figuratively or literally. Well, I guess it can't be within literally, but to know that that golden moment, that golden sensation, the sense of achievement, of relatability, prosperity is within. And that's always a beautiful place to come from, because it means that you know that you own it, you contain it, you don't have to go outside looking for that. And you can provide that to yourself. And it's just a really, really strong condition to come from, no matter what is occurring for you for the week. Aquarius. So this is marvelous to see too, a great deal of stability here. And then in your probable outcome card, we have the card mending. This is all about mending relationships. It could be, if this isn't a relationship with another person, organization, or group of people, this could be about mending your relationship with yourself. I never discount how important it is to be your own best friend sometimes. In fact, for me personally, I didn't really know how to be a good friend to other people until I was comfortable in being a friend to myself. And this included, for example, self-talk, the way that I talk to myself. Sometimes when we get into poor habits and we feel like we can sort of, we feel like, for example, you're pushing yourself to do something, and in order to do it right, you feel, or it's habitual to be hard on yourself about it, right? Like if you did something wrong, or like I said, you changed your mind back here about something, you took a different route, but it's working for you. You might have been hard on yourself about it, or you might have said like, I was so stupid, or how could I have been an idiot, or okay, that's actually not kind. And I'm just going to finish by saying that those aren't even words that you would say to a friend, okay? That's all I'm saying. You would never say to a friend who changed their mind about something, you were such an idiot, I can't believe you did it, right? You just wouldn't, because it's not kind. So if that's at all going on here for you, Aquarius, just remember that you're important too, and you deserve your own friendship and your own peaceful guidance and protection here. So if you are being hard on yourself at all, please remember to repair and mend that relationship. It will only achieve greater heights in personal relationships with other individuals as well. And other people can take from it and learn from it as well. If this is a familial issue, this is something that is going to take some time, because it is in the probable outcome. This is something that's going to, in the upcoming, the most current future, how do you say that? Most, what's upcoming, something that's upcoming is going to require healing. All right, I shall leave that part there. Let's look at these one by one for a little bit each. Like I said, we have a beautiful golden desert, and one of the land's fastest animals here going so fast, he's losing spots. So you were in a hurry to get out of what you were doing, or where you felt stuck, or that you couldn't be yourself, etc. You're out of the gates. This is you just saying sayonara, everybody. No regrets, no hate. But I'm moving on, because I see, look what's ahead of me. I'm going to win. I'm going the way I need to go in order to win. And you did it for yourself. You're doing it for yourself. You don't owe anyone an explanation. In fact, it could be that whatever you did change your mind about or veer away from here isn't a surprise to anybody. And it could even be that everyone who was involved is happy for you. In your recent past, you have the fork in the road. I'm going to get you to look at some of the major symbology in this card. We've got several arrows here, which just means several different directions. We have a little owl. We have a barn owl here. Owls are historically symbols of night, dark, occult, esoteric, moon, emotions, etc. So this could have been an emotional decision, or something based in the emotions, even if it wasn't fully emotional, as opposed to, business or peer groups or even geography. And then finally, we have the rhesus monkey at the top of the fork here, and he is wearing a mask. So it's just something to be aware of. And again, it's not something you're going into, so I won't spend a lot of time on it. But you will, and he's also carrying a fork. So there's a little bit of trickery here, or that you felt tricked, or that someone was literally wearing a, not literally, but wearing a mask, so to speak. All that means is just not being themselves, and maybe got you into something, or you got yourself into something where you felt like people were being upfront. People were creating sort of this environment where you felt like you had to make a decision to get out. Like that's it. And you did. So marvelous here. But perhaps if this is a group of people whom you're still in touch with, maybe examine those relationships. If it is a business or organizational concept, I'm not too worried about you staying in touch with those individuals, because you know what? They're in the past, you've moved on. But if it was romance or old friendships, for example, or something that you would like to have mended in the future because there was an upset here, there is an opportunity for that. Just be careful that they are, or he or she is, who you think who they really are. And maybe take your time in doing that. Mending process doesn't have to be a fast one. And just remember that if they're kind to you, you can be kind to them. But I wouldn't do them any favors where you have to put yourself out or make yourself uncomfortable, because they may not be able to be trusted and they may not be showing your full face to you, okay? So in the conscious or external influence position, we have exchanging gifts. Here you can see a fairy who's literally in the present. This is a situation where you are just going to find yourself available and in the present and not scattered. It's also a very feminine card. We have a cat, we have lots of pink, so there's a great deal of receptivity. It could have to do specifically with a woman or women in general. And it could be about literally exchanging gifts, about being in the present and being present to each other. Gifts aren't always from the material world. You could give the gift of joy or be given that, the gift of love, friendship, prosperity, forgiveness, etc. So there could be an emotional element of gift giving and sharing here, where you feel even if this was part of the process, these two are at odds, right? There's someone with a mask here, there's some emotional game playing here, and here's someone who's just popping out of the box, completely in the present. They're in their own, they have nothing to prove, they are who they are, they're completely confident, but receptive. So you might feel like this is a more stable place for you than it was here. You know what you're up against here. In this environment, even though she wears, for example, she has on a little, I hope you can see this, she has on a little, I think they're called like a masquerade ball mask, as opposed to the full face mask here, where the mask on the rhesus monkey is like a duck mask. Like it's not even the same animal, which is a deception. So here there's a playfulness here. There's perhaps even some artistry here, or having to do with the world of the arts or design, etc. So just a really lovely, peaceful place to be. In the internal or subconscious position, again, like I mentioned, we have Treasure Island. This is a beautiful card to have in this position, Aquarius, because it means literally that you are aware, you act from, whether or not you're aware of it, a place of total abundance, total prosperity, total legitimacy. You're not missing anything. In fact, you can see here, the line is divided between the air and the water, for example, for total balance. Here we have on the back of the turtle, we have the treasure chest with hearts and stars all around. So both love, Terra, earth love, and then you've got spiritual with the stars. You've got this, I call it Gaia, right? This eternal space, this eternal galaxy or space world, for example. I just think that you're totally in your own here and not terribly surprised with Go the Distance right above it. This, in order to even have this as a central position card, Aquarius, you have to be so determined and dogged, okay? Like There is literally nothing that could stop this animal from reaching that line. Nothing. And you wouldn't let it. And the reason why I think that you're in this position here currently is because you've made a point of acting from a place of prosperity. Also, we know on an ancient level and ancient mystical stories and so forth that the turtle is the symbol for the sign Cancer. So perhaps there is a Cancerian in your life. And also, if there's any large scale or esoteric thinking here about why the world is here, what the world's made of, why you're here, etc. If there's large scale questions here, you could feel as though you are in tune with or now asking about a sense of purpose here. This is a great deal of purpose, and it's just so beautiful. I hope you can see the difference between this gorgeous pink hue and the receptivity and the femininity here, and then this gorgeous blue and the movement and the cleansing. So it's just beautiful to have these cards right outside of go the distance. I think you're on the winning course this week, Aquarius. So like I said, finally with the mending card, I expanded on that a little as it was laid before I went into the rest of the deck, so I won't say too much more about this. But certainly if you are in the habit of being unkind to yourself for whatever reason, I've been there too, just remember that the way that we deal with the world and other people is first conceptualized from within. So remember to be kind and gentle to yourself. And if you practice that, it'll be really easy to be kind and gentle with other people, and certainly with elements of forgiveness. Now, forgiveness is actually one of the hardest things for humanity to wrap their heads around. There are people, I believe, too many people who seek things like revenge or some sort of like a vigilante type attitude. I just don't see that solving problems. So perhaps you're looking at those concepts or ideas in a different way this week as well. So for one additional card here, we have the Badger. The Badger's keyword is aggressiveness. Now, I'm going to suggest that you actually require this level of doggedness, like I said just a moment ago, in order to go the distance. Perhaps you feel tired or worn out, or you just don't want to do this, but for whatever reason. But I think that aggressiveness, depending on what is occurring here, what you're going the distance on, could work for you or against you. So just be aware this week, Aquarius, of levels of aggression. Certainly it doesn't have to be a negative card. Aggression could be the difference between getting past the finish line, getting what you need, pushing yourself a little bit more, or turning people off, turning people away, being, that moment of like, I was that close and it didn't work, and that type of thing. So just be conscious of levels of aggression this week. More often than not, unless you're trying to break something open, like the Badgers in that picture, unless you're trying to break something open, perhaps if it has anything to do with the mending, you will have to break open why you feel that way, whatever that is for you in the first place, or why mending needs to occur in the first place. Could it have to do with aggression? Are you being too aggressive about it? Is someone being too aggressive with you? Like I said, there could just be an issue of balance here. But certainly, listen, if someone is walking all over you this week, Aquarius, okay, you might have to stand up for yourself and fight back. Okay, if that's at all what's going on here, I wouldn't take anyone's garbage. And if there's any level of jealousy around your life, your decisions, your behavior, anything like that, I really hope that's not the case. But if you're running into that, you may find that you are confronted with or have projected onto you a level of, oh, that's several. Let's just get one here. A level of aggression that you don't appreciate and you don't have to tolerate, okay? So just maybe meditate on the word aggression this week, or just however that feels to you on an intuitive level when you hear that word with the other cards here. just make a little note of how that's going to act out for the week for you. And finally, we have music in your final outcome card. This is always beautiful to see because this is just total arts. This is about being aware of the arts, involved in the arts, being perhaps a recipient of the arts, but also, and perhaps even more importantly, a creator of the arts. So music, yes, necessarily, it could be that, as opposed to, say, painting or sculpting or poetry, etc. Music could be a little bit more prominent for you this week in terms of songs if you're not creating them yourself or creating music or in an environment where music is being conducted or produced, etc. It could be that you have a great deal of intuition around the type of music you want to create, or you're being induced with new concepts about new music, about the creation of new music. Alternately, another way to read that is to say that you will be helped and healed through music this week, and that you could even find music to be a way to create relations or to even do some mending or healing with someone else. We all know that music is the universal language. So sometimes if there are things that can't be said or you can't express this week properly or in the way that you want to, maybe it can be said in a song. So Aquarius, that is your reading for the week. I hope you really enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments what you thought. Please like and subscribe. Make sure that you get your weekly readings every week. And I hope you take good care of yourself in the meantime. I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye for now.